Welcome back, this is Frederick from Tektronix. I had one of you guys requesting a little bit help how you work with DPOJET and some of the more hidden or nice features in DPOJET. So the first thing I will do today is show you how you can create your own limit files. I'm not a real expert, but I've figured it out, kind of. So I'm going to go through that. The other one is data logging. If you're running DPOJET and if you want to have a data log, then you look at, what happens with the rise time when you run a temperature chamber. I found a kind of way of doing that, But let's start with, limit testing. And we had this for many years, and a few customers asked us, how do you do it? Is it hard to do? It is easy to do? And I found it a little bit more complex than I was thought, but in the end it's quite easy to do it. So everybody should be able to edit their own limit files. So just start now, and I'm using a very boring signal. It's the cal signal out for my 25 gig DX scope. This is what I had today. It's the day before Easter. So we start by, select. And here we have the tab, and I will just do maybe some rise time measurement, 2, 3. And I can go and configure the rise time individually. So it can mean that, for example, I want to measure one of them with a 90-20, but this 80-20. And this one rise time could be measured, let's say, 70-30. That's funny, okay. They have different measurements, and they call 1, 2, 3. I can do a single shot, and you should see that the rise time is, the same. And we will go into this a little bit later. It's actually due to... Oh, it's a question for you. Why do you think that rise time measurements are the same when I do this measurement? And let's just say that I'm doing something very wrong. But for the purpose of this video, I would like to show you how you can do some measurement. So first of all, where do you find the limit files? This is a question I got. So if you go into Tech here, local disk, users, public, go down to Tektronix, Tech applications, and then there's the DPOJET, and there's limits. And here is a little bit what we call the statistic and then the names, but I'm going to use the copy I'm playing with, and you right click and you can edit. And in this case, there's 3 kind of rules, and I think you can get it. One is when you work with a custom measurement name, and if you want to measure everything, which is called rise time, or you want them to be individually measured. So in this case, we can scroll down. We have the first one. It's just here for VX diff peak to peak. The second one is a kind of a period. The third one is fall time with the rule 2. I can show you this one, and I have a fall time there as well. We can change this to rise time. And in this case 1, and then we cycle max, and we have rise time. We can actually remove the cycle max, it's deleted. And then we have over here, we have rise time again, and this is when you do the individual. So I call this rise time 2, and there's some limits, I really don't care. So we have 2 rise times here, 1 and 2. I can just take this one, copy, and pass this one, and then we called it rise time 3. And when I done it, I save this, just save. And it's good to have this open. I found this very useful when you're testing your limit. So I have it back here, and then I go to analyze. Under DPOJET or G3I analysis, there's this limit. And here you're going to make sure that you work with the limit files you want, this one. And to test if it's actually what you want, you can just put on and off. In this case, I got rise time 2 and 3. There's something wrong with... I don't think you can see that. That's good. Let's move it away. So I put this on now, and you can see that there's not measuring really the first one. So let's go back and try to find rise time 1. And you can see that I have a backspace there. So file, save. and then we can test it on. Now everything is failing. So this is a very, very easy way of doing that. The other way is if you're using one of those, 01, 02, 03, is actually go through all of it. So we go and select, okay, close this one. We go and select, in this case, a period. We had a few period. We can change the way we do it, but and we do a single, and here's some data, and I go back to this one because it actually says somewhere over here. Period. In this case, hopefully, when I run this one, it will measure all the periods at one time. So chip, and everything fails. So that's the big difference when you run this. Is either to look at the individual like I did, and you write down 1, 2, and 3. I can have different values for the other one, or you use this, use rule 2 controlling period. It measures all the period, measures the same. It's depending how you want to do it. In some cases, there could be that you have 4 channels you want to measure rise and fall time on. It just takes 2 lines of code to do that. And when you're done with this one, you have the possibility to just one thing. So when you change here, if you have this open and change something, you can immediately say, like, if I put a space in here, or there was one space, but just one space, and I save this one, save, and off and on, you will see it doesn't. So it's really case sensitive when you do this kind of stuff. So I go back and put it at period again, and we go for file save. So I do it on, and if we now close this one, and we this is a very good report, and I go for plots here, and I don't care about plot, do we? No, we do a report directly. So I will save this one, and you will see that the scope I'm building is this one, the channels I'm using, some spectral recovery methods, and then you can see the limits here, high limit and the low limit, and what you measure. So to conclude this one, I go through one of these measurements again, just to see. So we have this period, a state name, and you can have a mean and match and average. And then you can have an upper low limit or lower limit or both. So in this case, we're using both. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Now I'm going to tell you something else. So we go back here, and we just clear the selector. Now we're going to trend plot, clear all. We're going to trend plot rise time. So we go for timing measurement. I set the rise time on, and I can do a single. Let me see. Oh, maybe I should turn off the testing for this, limit testing. Off. Okay, that's close. And then we do a single, and we do a single. Have you ever thought about, there's a tab here called data logging? And data logging, actually, I can log the statistics. I can log the measurement. Let me do this, browse, and just find it, where to put it on desktop. Okay. I can view the file name. It's ending with 736. Close. And logging on. Close, and I do a single. And somewhere here is the file. So what I found, doing a special software that I found for free using Java, is that I can double click this one, and I really don't care about this one. So I remove all of this, remove this, and then I have the different measurements. So the first one is index, the second sum is time, the third one is mean, third one is max, and last one is min. The file, and you just save that one in this case. So index, time, mean, max, mean value, max value, minimum value. And then I found a software that I like, called Live Graph. Remind me later with this one. And I will open this one. It's called, what was the name again? It was something with 743 desktop. 7 something. 743. Okay, I'll open this one. And now we're ready to go. That's all you need to do. So you close this one and you run. And you can see here in the background, I'll try to move the scope a little bit away. You can see the graph just moving away. Really, really nice. I can move this. So in the beginning of the video, I had to like, what's wrong with this signal? So now I'm logging this. I can do it a little bit faster. It doesn't really matter. So this is a way I've been tracking the values. And I can select the values. I selected the green one now, which is most likely the, let me see, the mean time here. But I can also have the max if I want to, but it doesn't really matter in this case. So this is a freeware. If you know where I get it, you can see it's called something. Live graph. Well, so the trick was in the beginning, you know, what is wrong with my signal? I will just go here and I go to horizontal acquisition and I just, you know, what's wrong with this setup? What am I doing wrong? So I'm increasing the sample rate and you can see down here what's happening with the rise time. We can make it even bigger, like this. And if you know this question, and if you submit to it, if you find my email somehow or do it by YouTube, I might be able to give you some giveaways or something. So again, what's wrong? What am I doing wrong? I hope you enjoy this little video. It's the first time I do something related to software. And please come back to me if you want something other. I know that there will be a major update video on all the supported software we soon have for a USB spectrum analyzers. And also, yeah, if there's anything I can do for you, I'm here for you. And a very happy Easter.